Choose one. I need you to really hear this right now. Put down whatever you're doing. Take a deep breath. Feel into this moment, because what I'm about to tell you is going to change everything. You know that feeling you've had your whole life, that sense that something was taken from you, that knowing that you were meant for more, but somehow the path kept getting blocked, that frustration when you'd make progress only to hit another wall, that confusion when your manifestations would almost work but then fizzle out at the last moment. You weren't imagining it. You weren't being paranoid. You weren't making it up. There has been an actual theft, not just energetically, though that too, but something tangible, something real, something that belongs to you by divine right and cosmic law, something that should have been in your hands years ago, maybe decades ago, and the lawyers who helped hide it, they're sweating bullets right now. I'm talking about inheritance, legacy, wealth, property, bank accounts, trust funds, real estate, family treasures, things that were meant to flow to you but got diverted by family members who thought they could outsmart the universe. They thought they found loopholes. They thought their contracts and lies and manipulations would hold forever. They thought their secret meetings and forged documents and hush money would keep their crimes buried. But here's what they didn't count on. You. They didn't count on you doing the deep work. They didn't count on you breaking the karmic cycles. They didn't count on you rising into your authentic power and remembering who you really are. They didn't count on you becoming someone who vibrates at such a high frequency that their low-level tricks don't work anymore. They thought you'd stay small, stay scared, stay stuck in victim consciousness forever. They thought you'd never question the family stories, never investigate the inconsistencies, never demand the truth. They thought you'd just accept your designated role as the family scapegoat and be grateful for whatever crumbs they threw your way. They were wrong about everything, and now the cosmic justice system is active. The divine audit is complete. The spiritual FBI has built an airtight case. The Akashic records have been opened and examined, and there are no more loopholes left to hide behind. The game is over. The truth is coming out. Your inheritance is coming home. Let me paint you a picture of what's been happening while you were busy becoming who you're meant to be. Picture a table in some Mediterranean cafe, tucked away in the back corner. Around this table sit lawyers, expensive ones, speaking in hushed tones in different languages. Spanish, French, Italian, whatever it takes to keep their secrets safe. They're not celebrating, they're panicking. Someone just walked in and dropped a file on their table. Evidence, proof, documentation that blows their whole scheme wide open. Years of carefully constructed lies, forged documents, hidden assets, all of it crumbling like a house of cards. The family member who orchestrated this theft, they're realizing their time is up. That matriarch energy, that controlling force who convinced everyone you were the problem, who spread lies about your character to justify keeping what's yours. They're watching their empire fall. And these lawyers, they're calculating how much money they're about to lose. Because they weren't just legal advisors, they were co-conspirators. They helped hide property deeds, manipulate inheritance documents, create false narratives about your worthiness. But the cosmic truth has a way of surfacing, always. You see, while they were busy playing their small-minded games, you were doing something they never expected. You were healing, you were growing, you were breaking free from the victim consciousness they tried to trap you in. Every time you chose love over fear, light over darkness, truth over illusion, you were dismantling their spell. Every ancestor you healed, every karmic pattern you broke, every time you refused to play their game, you were building your case in the cosmic court. And now, the judgment is in your favor. This isn't just about money, chosen one. This runs deeper than bank accounts and property lines. What you've been doing, this healing journey you've been on, you've been breaking ancestral patterns that have played out for generations. You've been the one brave enough to say, "This ends with me," the family member who took what's yours. They've been playing out the same pattern from past lives. Betrayal, theft. using manipulation and lies to control resources and people. It's an ancient pattern, and they thought they could run it one more time, but they didn't account for the fact that you're not the same soul you were in those past incarnations. You've evolved, you've grown, you've remembered your power. Every meditation you've done, every healing session you've invested in, every moment you chose to believe in yourself when everyone else told you that you were crazy, that was you building your spiritual strength. That was you preparing for this moment. The Akashic records are opening up. Past life memories are surfacing. The truth about who did what to whom and when, it's all coming to light. And this family member, they remember too. They know exactly what they did in those other lifetimes, and they're terrified that their cosmic debt is about to be collected. See, they thought they could hide behind religious facades, community respect, family loyalty. They thought their reputation would protect them, but the universe doesn't care about your social media image or how many people think you're a good person. The universe cares about truth, and the truth is this: what belongs to you will find its way back to you, not because you're entitled or greedy, but because it's part of your divine mission on this planet. You need those resources to do the work you came here to do. The healing you've done hasn't just freed you, it's freed your entire bloodline, and that freedom is about to manifest in ways that will blow your mind. Now I need to tell you something that might sound intense, but you need to know this truth. You need to understand the full scope of what you've been up against, so you can appreciate the magnitude of your victory. There has been spiritual warfare happening around you, real energetic attacks designed to keep you small, confused, and powerless. This wasn't just family drama or bad luck or coincidence. This was coordinated metaphysical manipulation designed to keep you from your destiny. That family member who took your inheritance, they've been working with some dark energies, sex magic, manipulation spells, binding rituals, curse work, whatever it takes to maintain control over resources that were never meant to be theirs. They've been using distorted spiritual practices to bind your success, block your intuition, and keep you from discovering the truth. They've been working with practitioners who specialize in financial blocking spells. They've been paying people to do candle work designed to confuse your mind every time you got close to the truth. They've been using your personal items, hair, photos, clothing, to create energetic ties that would drain your power and cloud your judgment. But here's what they didn't realize. Every attack made you stronger. Every time they tried to block your abundance, you learned to create it from source energy. Every time they tried to confuse your intuition, you developed deeper spiritual discernment. Every time they tried to make you doubt yourself, you built unshakable faith in your divine purpose. Every time they sent nightmares, you learned to lucid dream. Every time they tried to drain your energy, you learned to protect your aura. You've been in spiritual boot camp this whole time, love. Divine military training, and now you're ready for what's coming. The protection around you has been upgraded. Can you feel it? Your spiritual team isn't just guardian angels anymore. You've got the cosmic cavalry, Archangel Michael with his sword of truth, cutting through every lie they've told. Dragon guides with their fierce protective fire, burning away every curse they've sent. Ancestral warriors who've been waiting lifetimes to see justice served. The energetic cords that were used to drain your power, cut. The psychic vampirism that was designed to keep you depleted, reversed. The illusions that were placed over your third eye, shattered. The spell that was meant to keep you from remembering your worth, broken into a million pieces. You're operating from a completely different frequency now. Your vibration has risen so high that their old tricks don't work anymore. The magic they've been using is based on fear, control, and deception, but you're operating from love, truth, and divine alignment. Fear cannot defeat love, ever. Lies cannot overcome truth, never. Manipulation cannot conquer authenticity, not possible. And that terrifies them more than anything else, because they know that once you're fully awakened to your power, once you're completely aligned with divine truth, once you're operating from pure love consciousness, they have no power over you at all. The cosmic court has been in session, and you didn't even know you had representation. Your guides have been building a case on your behalf. Every injustice, every theft, every lie told about you, it's all been documented in the Akashic records. Every tear you cried, every moment you felt alone and abandoned, witnessed and recorded. But also recorded. Every act of kindness you showed, despite being hurt. Every time you chose to heal instead of seeking revenge. Every moment you held space for others, even when no one was holding space for you. The universe sees it all, beautiful soul, and the universe is not neutral. Those lawyers panicking around that table, they're not just worried about earthly consequences, they're feeling the cosmic pressure, the spiritual heat, the knowing that they've aligned themselves with the wrong side of divine justice. Some of them want out. There's at least one who's ready to turn, ready to reveal the truth, ready to make things right. Their conscience is eating them alive, and they know that staying silent any longer will destroy their soul. The investigator who dropped that file on the table, they're divinely protected. They're following their heart, their truth, they're calling to serve justice, and they're not afraid of the consequences because they know they're on the right side of cosmic law. This isn't just about returning stolen property. This is about restoring cosmic balance. This is about making sure that those who serve the light have the resources they need to do their work in the world. And you, my dear one, are a servant of the light. The verdict is coming in, and it's in your favor. Not because you fought for it, though your spiritual growth has been its own form of advocacy, but because truth always wins in the end. Always. The universe has a perfect accounting system, and it's time for the books to be balanced. Let's talk about the lies they told about you, the stories they spread to justify taking what was yours, the character assassination that was designed to make everyone in the family turn against you, the way they painted you as the problem, the troublemaker, the one who didn't deserve family loyalty or support. They used cultural biases against you. They weaponized shame around your identity, your choices, your path. They made sure that when the inheritance was stolen, no one would question it, because, well, you know how they are. But here's the cosmic joke. Every lie they told to diminish you actually highlighted your authenticity. They called you weird. That was your intuition threatening their control. They called you difficult. That was your boundaries challenging their manipulation. They called you unstable. That was your refusal to participate in their toxic family system. Every story they told about you was actually a confession of their own fears. They were terrified of your light, your truth, your refusal to play small. They were threatened by your spiritual growth because it exposed their spiritual poverty. And now the truth is coming out, not just about the stolen inheritance, but about the stolen narratives, the real story of who you are and why they worked so hard to keep you down. Family members who believed their lies are starting to wake up. People are asking questions. Wait, if they were really that bad, why are they the one who got blessed? Why are they the one who's thriving spiritually while the accusers are falling apart? The contrast is becoming undeniable. While they were busy gossiping and scheming, you were busy healing and growing. While they were collecting material wealth through deception, you were collecting spiritual wealth through authentic living. While they were building their reputation on lies, you were building your character on truth. And now everyone can see the difference. The family foundation they built on lies is crumbling. The respect they thought they had earned through deception is evaporating. The legacy they thought they were protecting is revealing itself to be built on betrayal. But your legacy is just beginning. You've been receiving downloads, haven't you? Visions, dreams, sudden knowings about past lives and soul contracts. Messages in meditation that seem to come from nowhere but feel absolutely true. Synchronicities that are too specific to be coincidence. Numbers that follow you everywhere. Songs that play at exactly the right moment with exactly the right lyrics. That's not coincidence. That's divine intelligence preparing you for what's coming. The visions of other countries, other times, those are memories surfacing. Your soul remembering other incarnations where similar betrayals played out, but also remembering your power, your purpose, your divine mission that spans lifetimes. You're remembering the castles you once lived in, the lands you once owned, the wealth you once commanded, not from ego, but so you'll know that abundance is your natural state. You've been guided to investigate, to question, to dig deeper into family history and spiritual truth. Every book that called to you, every teacher who appeared in your life, every healing modality that resonated, every conspiracy theory that made you go, what if? All of it was preparing you for this moment of cosmic revelation. Some of you have been diving deep into occult knowledge, learning about how energy really works, understanding the mechanics of manifestation and spell work. Some of you have been researching your family genealogy, finding gaps in the stories, discovering inconsistencies in the official narratives. Some of you have been drawn to study legal documents, property records, inheritance laws, following hunches that seemed random but weren't random at all. All of it was guided, all of it was preparation, all of it was your higher self downloading the knowledge you'd need to navigate what's coming. Your protection team has been upgraded because what's coming requires it. The spiritual warfare around your inheritance has been intense, but your guides knew you could handle it. They knew you were strong enough to transmute every attack into wisdom, every obstacle into strength, every setback into setup for something better. The downloads you've been receiving about conspiracy and truth, those weren't random rabbit holes, those were training programs, learning to discern truth from lies, reality from illusion, authentic information from manipulation. You've been developing the spiritual muscles you need to navigate a world where deception is the norm and truth is hidden in plain sight. You've been learning to trust your intuition even when everyone else thinks you're crazy. You've been learning to stand in your truth even when you're standing alone. You've been learning to see through facades and personas to the real energy underneath. You've been developing what I call soul vision, the ability to see with your heart instead of just your eyes. And what's coming is big, love, bigger than you can imagine. This inheritance isn't just about settling old debts, it's about funding your mission. The universe has been preparing resources for the work you came here to do, and those resources are about to be released. But the universe needed to make sure you were ready to handle them responsibly, spiritually, authentically. Money amplifies who you are. If you're selfish, money makes you more selfish. If you're generous, money makes you more generous. If you're fearful, money makes you more fearful. If you're loving, money makes you more loving. The universe needed to know what would money amplify in you. But first, you had to prove you could handle abundance. You had to demonstrate that you wouldn't be corrupted by wealth, wouldn't be destroyed by sudden resources, wouldn't lose your spiritual center when material blessings arrived. And you've passed every test with flying colors. You chose healing over hatred. You chose growth over revenge. You chose love over fear. Even when it would have been easier to become bitter, you chose to become better. That's why you're ready. That's why it's time. That's why the cosmic vault is about to open. Here's something beautiful about divine timing. They tried to cast their spells during Mercury retrograde. They thought they were being clever, using the energy of confusion and miscommunication to hide their tracks. They thought the backwards energy would cover their deception, but they forgot something crucial. Mercury retrograde also brings revelation. Hidden information surfaces. Secret communications are exposed. The truth that was buried comes back to light. Every spell they cast during this time has boomeranged back to them with triple force. Every lie they told is being exposed. Every manipulation they attempted is being revealed. Every contract they forged is being challenged. The cosmic law of return is in full effect, and it's not gentle. While they were trying to block your abundance, they were actually blocking their own. While they were trying to confuse your path, they were getting lost in their own maze of lies. While they were trying to steal your blessing, they were losing their own souls. The well is dry for them now. The sources of their illegitimate wealth are drying up. The people who used to fund their lifestyle in exchange for silence are withdrawing their support. The network of corruption they built their security on is collapsing, but your well is overflowing. Everything they tried to block from reaching you has been building up pressure behind the cosmic dam. And when that dam breaks, and it's about to break, the flood of abundance coming your way will be breathtaking. Property, money, opportunities, connections, resources you didn't even know existed, all of it has been held in divine escrow until you are ready to receive it without losing yourself. That time is now. The retrograde energy that was supposed to hide their crimes is instead revealing them. The backwards motion that was supposed to delay your justice is instead accelerating it. The confusion that was supposed to benefit them is instead working in your favor, because when you're aligned with divine truth, even the challenging energies work for your highest good. You are what you seek. Do you understand the profound truth in that statement? All this time, searching for your inheritance, your legacy, your rightful place in the world, you've been discovering that the real treasure was always within you. But here's the beautiful paradox. Because you found the treasure within, the external treasure is now free to manifest. The Holy Grail isn't just about receiving what was stolen from you. It's about recognizing that you are the Grail. You are the sacred vessel. You are the one who holds the divine essence that can transform everything you touch. This inheritance coming to you isn't just money and property. It's the universe saying, you've remembered who you are. Now here are the tools to do what you came here to do. The family member who took what was yours thought they were stealing material wealth. They didn't realize they were actually stealing resources meant for divine service. They thought they were getting richer, but they were actually accumulating cosmic debt. But you've been getting spiritually richer this whole time. You've been accumulating wisdom, compassion, strength, and authenticity. You've been building true wealth, the kind that can never be stolen because it lives in your soul. And now the external world is about to match your internal reality. This is what it means to find the sacred in discovery. Every step of your healing journey, every moment of your spiritual growth, every time you chose love over fear, you were discovering the sacred within yourself. Chosen one, anyone can listen to messages like these, but few will step into their true power. We are here to help you do just that. The weekly Chosen Ones group calls are now on Zoom, and this is the moment you've been waiting for your entire life. These meetings are literal power vortexes, where destinies are forged, where chosen ones unite their consciousness to create something that cannot exist in isolation. This is where everything changes. This is where you step into your greatness. Every week a doorway opens, but only for those brave enough to step through it. Watcher-level members of the Obsidian Inner Order can experience these transformative sessions live, feeling the energy surge through your entire being. In our most recent gathering, participants were stunned by revelations about the Great Pyramids of Giza, as sophisticated ancient power plants, and the shocking truth about Washington, D.C.'s layout perfectly aligning with the Kabbalistic tree of life. Star Chamber members receive unlimited access to the complete recordings archive, a treasure trove of wisdom that grows more valuable with each passing week. This is your defining moment. The knowledge, the connection, the power that flows through these calls cannot be found anywhere else. Join the Obsidian Inner Order now, link in the description. While the few remaining Star Chamber slots are still available, your presence is not just welcome, it's necessary. Will you answer the call that has been echoing through your soul? The time is now, and the universe has been taking notes. The cosmic accountants have been watching your spiritual deposits, your karmic investments, your soul-level contributions to the healing of humanity, and they've determined that you're ready for the return on that investment. The sacred and the material are about to merge in your life in ways that will astound you, not because you deserve it more than others, but because you've proven you can hold both without losing your center, without forgetting your purpose, without abandoning your heart. You found the Holy Grail within. Now watch as the universe manifests it without. They tried to keep you driven by pressure, pressure to conform, pressure to settle for less, pressure to believe their lies about your worth. They wanted you trapped in survival mode, always anxious about money, always worried about security, always feeling like you had to prove yourself worthy of love and resources, always hustling, always grinding, always pushing through exhaustion, because rest felt like laziness and joy felt like selfishness. They programmed you to believe that struggle equals worthiness, that if you weren't suffering, you weren't trying hard enough, that abundance only came to those who sacrificed everything else: health, relationships, peace of mind, spiritual connection. They wanted you to believe that money was dirty, that spirituality and wealth couldn't coexist, that choosing pleasure over pain was somehow morally wrong. This programming goes deep, love. It's in your family lineage, your cultural conditioning, your religious upbringing. It's the voice that says money is the root of all evil, and blessed are the poor, and you can't serve both God and mammon. It's the belief system that keeps spiritual people broke and conscious people powerless. But something beautiful happened on your healing journey. You learned to be driven by pleasure instead, not hedonistic pleasure, divine pleasure, the pleasure of following your soul's calling, the pleasure of doing work that lights you up from the inside out, the pleasure of connecting with your authentic self, without apology or explanation, the pleasure of serving others from a place of overflow rather than obligation, the pleasure of creating beauty, sharing wisdom, expressing truth in ways that feel like play rather than work. You discovered that joy is not the reward for completing your to-do list. Joy is the compass that shows you which items belong on your to-do list in the first place. You learned that passion is not a luxury you can afford after you've handled all your responsibilities. Passion is the energy that makes you capable of handling responsibilities with grace and efficiency. This transformation terrified them. When you stopped chasing their approval and started chasing your joy, their power over you evaporated. When you stopped measuring your worth by their standards and started living by your soul's truth, their manipulation tactics stopped working. When you stopped believing that you had to choose between money and meaning, their whole control system crumbled. They were counting on you staying small, staying scared, staying stuck in the old pattern of working harder for less, believing you had to suffer to be worthy, accepting crumbs when you were meant for the feast. They needed you to believe that wanting more was greedy, that asking for what you deserved was selfish, that stepping into your power was somehow taking power away from others. But you broke free from that programming. You discovered that when pleasure becomes your driving force, the doing becomes joyful regardless of the outcome. You stopped being attached to results and started being committed to authentic expression. You stopped trying to control external circumstances and started trusting divine timing. You stopped trying to force doors open and started walking through the ones that opened naturally, and that shift in your energy changed everything. The inheritance coming to you isn't a reward for suffering, it's a tool for service. It's not compensation for past pain, it's fuel for future joy. It's not about finally having enough to feel secure, it's about having abundant resources to share your gifts with the world without worrying about paying rent. They were trying to use pressure to keep you trapped in jobs that drained you, relationships that diminished you, situations that kept you too tired to remember your power. They wanted you so busy surviving that you'd never have time to thrive. But now you know, joy is not the reward for hard work. Joy is the point. Pleasure is not selfish indulgence. Pleasure is divine guidance. Following what lights you up is not irresponsible. Following what lights you up is the most responsible thing you can do, because a soul on fire lights up the world, and the world needs your light now more than ever. They're making one last desperate attempt, even as their lawyers are telling them it's over, even as the evidence is mounting against them, even as their spell work is backfiring spectacularly. They're trying one final manipulation. They want you to reject the truth when it comes forward. They want you to doubt the information, distrust the messenger, decline the inheritance out of some misguided sense that you don't deserve it. Don't you dare fall for it. This is their last card to play, making you complicit in your own oppression, making you choose to stay small out of false humility or misplaced loyalty to people who never showed you loyalty. They're going to try to make you feel guilty. Think of the family unity. Don't be greedy. Why do you need so much? Can't you just be happy with what you have? These are the words of people who stole from you, trying to make you feel bad about getting your stolen property back. Feel the manipulation in that. Taste the poison in those words. See the audacity of thieves trying to shame their victim for wanting justice. You've been healing for lifetimes for this moment. You've been growing, learning, evolving, transforming yourself from the inside out. You've broken ancestral curses, healed family trauma, elevated your consciousness, and aligned with your highest truth. And now, when the universe is ready to return what was always yours, they want you to reject it. Absolutely not. This inheritance isn't just about you, it's about everyone who comes after you. It's about breaking the pattern of spiritual people being poor, conscious people being powerless, light workers being under-resourced. You accepting this abundance creates a new template. You stepping into this level of material blessing while maintaining your spiritual integrity shows others it's possible. You becoming both wealthy and wise, both abundant and authentic, both prosperous and pure-hearted, creates permission for others to do the same. The old story, that you have to choose between spirituality and abundance, is ending with you. The new story, that you can serve both God and mammon when your heart is pure, is beginning with you. Don't let their fear of that new story make you reject your starring role in it. It's time to celebrate, chosen one. Not just the inheritance that's coming, though that's definitely worth celebrating, but celebrate the person you've become in the process of receiving it. Celebrate the hero's journey you've been on. Celebrate the dragon you've slain, the mountain you've climbed, the ocean you've crossed to get to this moment. Look at yourself now compared to who you were when this journey began. Look at your strength, your wisdom, your unshakable faith in divine justice. Look at your ability to hold love in your heart, even for those who wronged you. Look at your commitment to truth, even when lies were easier. Look at your willingness to stand alone when standing with the crowd would have been more comfortable. You've become someone worthy of cosmic abundance, not because you suffered, but because you grew. Not because you were a victim, but because you refused to stay one. Not because the universe owed you something, but because you aligned yourself with universal principles of love, truth, and service. The lawyers are going to have to call. The paperwork is going to have to be signed. The accounts are going to have to be transferred. The properties are going to have to be returned. The truth is going to have to be acknowledged. There's no stopping this cosmic avalanche of justice now. But more than that, the new paradigm is being birthed through your story. A paradigm where spiritual people have abundant resources to do their work, where conscious individuals are empowered to create massive positive change, where those who serve the light have the material support they need to shine brightly, where money flows to those who will use it for healing, creating and uplifting, rather than hoarding, controlling and destroying. Your ancestors who were healers, teachers and wisdom keepers, but died in poverty, they're celebrating in the spirit realm because you've broken that pattern. The witch who was burned for her gifts, she's dancing because you've proven that spiritual power and material abundance can coexist beautifully. The mystic who lived in a cave because society rejected his truth, he's cheering because you've shown that you can walk in both worlds without losing your soul. The future generations who will be born into your lineage, they're going to inherit a completely different energy around money, worth and abundance because of the healing you've done. They're going to grow up knowing that spirituality and prosperity are partners, not enemies. They're going to believe in their bones that following their joy leads to abundance, that serving others creates wealth, that being authentic attracts resources. This inheritance isn't an ending, it's a beginning. The beginning of you stepping fully into your power as both a spiritual being and a material creator. The beginning of you using resources in service of love instead of fear. The beginning of you demonstrating that wealth and wisdom can coexist beautifully. The beginning of you funding your mission, supporting your community, and changing the world in ways you never thought possible. But let's also celebrate the poetic justice of how this is all unfolding. The family member who tried to keep you poor, they're about to experience financial ruin. The lawyers who helped them steal, they're about to lose their licenses and their reputations. The network of corruption they built their security on, it's collapsing like a house of cards. Every person who participated in this theft is about to face consequences that match the magnitude of their crimes. And you're about to step into abundance that matches the magnitude of your growth. The contrast is so perfect, it's almost funny. While they were focused on taking, you were learning to give. While they were building walls, you were building bridges. While they were accumulating stuff, you were accumulating wisdom. While they were trying to control outcomes, you were learning to trust the process. And now the universe is showing everyone the difference between those approaches. The thieves are losing everything they stole and more. The authentic soul is gaining everything they deserve and more. So celebrate, love, dance, sing, laugh, cry tears of joy. Feel the gratitude, the relief, the excitement, the awe at how perfectly the universe orchestrates justice. Feel the satisfaction of knowing that you never compromised your integrity, never gave up on your truth, never stopped believing in divine justice, even when the evidence suggested otherwise. But most of all, feel the deep knowing that this is just the beginning of the magic your life is about to become. The cosmic court has ruled in your favor. Divine justice has prevailed. Your inheritance, both spiritual and material, is on its way. The universe has been preparing you for this moment your entire life, and you, magnificent soul, are ready to receive it all. Welcome to your new reality. Welcome to your abundant life. Welcome to the fullness of who you came here to be. The universe has been waiting for this moment. Your ancestors have been waiting for this moment. Your future self has been waiting for this moment, and so have you. Let the celebration begin. Let the abundance flow. Let the magic unfold. Your time is now.